Welcome to the last lesson of this course. I hope you guys enjoyed the course, and I hope that you guys actually learn something from this and you implement what you learned. And I'd love for you guys to leave a rating so that we can make future courses better. But I can only teach you guys things that I've been through. I went to college, I did the internships, I did the interviews, and I started my career in finance. I worked in two different positions in finance. I started off as a financial analyst, and I decided to go into the consulting world. As a risk management consultant under financial crimes, which allowed me to learn to apply the skills that I learned as a financial analyst. And eventually, I went back to industry, where I went back to corporate finance, and now I supervise a team of analysts. I train those analysts. That's what I do now. So I want to give you guys some strategies for continuous professional growth, as well as how I've used that growth to advance in my career in finance. And so one of those things is going to be you have to pursue further education, whether you're going back to school for your master's degree, or maybe you are getting a certification such as a CFA, or maybe a CFP. These are things that that foster continuous growth in finance. You have to always be seeking a certification, or maybe continuous education, whether it's job specific. Some jobs offer trainings. You don't. It doesn't always mean going back to school. It might be job specific, industry specific, but you have to always pursue further education. That is how you advance. Now, you also have to stay informed of the changes that are happening in your industry. So if you work in insurance, right, there's always regulations, there's always things changing. If you work in wherever you work in finance, there's always going to be industry updates. The trends are going to be changing, right? This might mean you need to shift your focus on a different trajectory for your career. Now, you always have to stay informed. You can watch the news, you can follow some financial publications, you can this is just some stuff that's on the news that you'll find on the news. But it's good to stay informed. Now, you also have to expand your skill set. I've seen a lot of people that get into a position, and they get so comfortable that they forget that you have to expand your skill set, right? If you are a financial analyst, maybe think about expanding your financial modeling skills, or maybe your data analysis skills. If you work in risk management, look at some things, some ways where you can improve your risk management skills. So one of the easiest ways to expand your skills is to learn software that the company uses. If your company uses, for example, QuickBooks, learn how to use QuickBooks. Get a QuickBooks certification, right? If you use Salesforce, right, learn how to do that. This is where we'll talk about Microsoft Excel. Learn new formulas, right? Learn how to clean up data. You always have to expand your skill set. Obviously, this is going to be relative to what job you work and the skills that are required. Always expand your skill set. Now, one of the good things that that is natural, or that happens when you work with a lot of people, is going to be in mentorship, right? If you have a supervisor, this is someone who's probably been on the job 2 years before you were. They obviously have more experience, which is why they are a supervisor. These are people that you can use as mentors. Ask as many questions as you can, right? Learn as much as you can from them. These are people that have more knowledge than you. These are people that are assigned to help you. These people can be your unofficial mentors, right? Ask for all types of advice, job related, obviously, right? So those people can be your mentors. If you can even find people in higher position, that's even better. And that is also how you're going to be able to network, right? You can network with coworkers that are at the same level as you. You can network at coworkers that are maybe levels above you or below you. Networking is really, really important, especially within a company that you're working for, right? This is how you're going to find out if a position is open, because it's not always posted on the job board. This is how you're going to find out what's happening within the company, changes that are going to happen. This is how you find out. You have to network within the company as well as within the industry, right? Sometimes it's hard to attend industry events, so you can join LinkedIn groups, you can join networking events that might be happening, collaborations. You can just join these groups and participate. That is how you're going to be able to network with them. Now, within your company, you have to be the person that's taking on the challenging projects. That is how you expand your skill set. Take the project that no one wants. Take the projects that everyone thinks is too hard to do, right? That is how you're going to learn new experiences. That is how you're going to express that you're willing to take challenges and expand your skill set. And, this is you're going to, not only does it look good, you're going to learn so much from doing something that no one else wanted to do. Okay. Now, one of the cool things that I like doing is looking for feedback as well as performance reviews. Most companies do annual performance reviews, or maybe they're quarterly, where you get a performance bonus based on how you did. But sometimes it doesn't hurt to ask for these reviews, maybe, once in a while. Just go ask, hey, what can I be improving? How can I improve to make our department better? What are some of the things I should be, doing to make our department better? It might be job specific, department specific, but go ahead and ask for feedback, right? And you have to be able to take constructive criticism, right? So always ask for that feedback. Always be looking to improve, and you can only improve by hearing from people that you're working with, right? Maybe you are not doing something that you think you're doing, or you're doing something that you think you're not doing. You can only learn that from the people that you're working with, and to learn that, you have to ask for that feedback. Okay, always be seeking that feedback, because that is how you improve. Now, leadership skills are going to be eventually going to be something that you have to learn, right? So if you start off as a financial analyst, you're not going to be a financial analyst forever. Over the years, you're going to move up the ladder, right? As you move up the ladder, you don't do as much of the data as of the groundwork, which is the entry level work, like all the data crunching, number crunching. You are now going to become a decision maker. You're going to be the person that people come to with problems, right? So now this is where you have to develop leadership skills, right? These are, in the way you can prepare for this is by taking on projects, right? Where you might be a team lead, or you might be responsible for something within the project, where this is going to help develop your communication skills, interpersonal skills, and then your ability to lead, right? Always volunteer for projects like that, where you have the opportunity to learn those things, right? And also, some companies will offer some leadership training, and one of the things that I do is read books online. I'll go ahead and, find some PDFs online on leadership, or maybe purchase books on Amazon on leadership that kind of like help refine my skills, my leadership skills. It's always a learning process. You can even reach out to some management, right? If you have one of those mentors, that you look up to, that you ask questions, you can even ask those questions. How can you be a good leader? How do you handle this situation? What is the best way to approach this problem, right? Now, one of the other things is going to be embracing new technology, right? This is where you have to be a continuous learner. If there's a new technology that's being introduced to your job, you have to be the person that's going to learn that technology. I'll tell you one of the things that I used to do when I was an entry-level analyst. The company would say, hey, we're going to implement this software to use for this. You know what I would do? I would go home that day at 5 p.m. I'll get home and I'll look up YouTube videos. I watch YouTube videos for about 4 or 5 hours on that software, so that the next day when we go to training, I already know what questions I want to ask. I already know how it basically works. So by the time we start using it that afternoon, I'm an expert. Like, how do you know this? How do how do you know this? It's because, I embrace technology. I want to adopt that, be the early adopter of that technology, and be the expert before anyone else is the expert. Okay. Now, another thing is going to be staying engaged and proactive, right? Sometimes you have to speak up for yourself, right? You have to seek out those opportunities. Sometimes they're not they're not going to be brought to you in a silver platter. You have to seek out those opportunities. You have to keep an eye opening for those job openings. That's why networking is important, because the job opening might not be posted, right? You might be word of mouth. One of the things that a network is good for is going to be recommendation. If you've networked with people that are in position to make those decisions, or even influence the people that make the decision, there you go. Now you have an advantage over someone who does not have that network. Okay. And one of the things that might help is going to be expressing interest in new projects. Like I said before, if you're a person that's always taking on projects, that is how you stay proactive. And also, it's good to communicate your goals with your supervisor, because that's the person that's going to speak up for you. When they're in a meeting asking who is going to be promoted, your supervisor is going to think of you. Oh, you're always being proactive about taking on projects, and you've told me that your career goals are to be in management. You're going to be the person that he or she recommends. Okay. Now, that is pretty much it for this course. Thank you so much, guys, for going through this course. I hope you learned something. I hope you take something away from this. You implement something away from this. So thank you so much, guys, and good luck.